Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with another special package, or two packages to be exact. Now I've started to learn my lessons, and so this package, which actually weighs not close to 7 kilos, I got all the way from Western Australia, which is about as far from, going from Western Australia down to Tasmania is about as far as you can go inside Australia. And both of these cartons picked up from the person's place and dropped off to my place, so no travelling, no having to go into the post office. Cost, sorry, ripping paper here, cost $44, which, considering what's in them, an item I've been after for quite some time, is very good. Now, this is a particular system that I've been after one of. I didn't really mind which particular one I got of the models, just to represent this in the Z80 Ti graphics chipset lot of computers. But I actually found somebody who had both of them and was selling them as a lot. And the only reason I've got this at a reasonable price was because they listed it as pickup only. And I queried them and asked them whether, well, pickup only, is it okay if I use freight as long as they come and get it from you? And they were happy with that. So it lowered, because there were two more of these individual ones, one with a lot of software. One with a lot of software went for over $300, and there's another one boxed, the larger model, that's already up to $100 just by itself with no software or anything like that. Anyway, so I suppose I should actually show what they are. I've got them out of the paper. Oop, something else fell out as well. Right, so the first one, and this is the rarer of the two as far as collection is done, is a Sega SC-3000 original model. So 32K RAM, 32K ROM. The 32K RAM, just like the Spectre Video 318, is a bit of a cheat. There's 16K of actual RAM and 16K of video RAM for the TI 9199 processor. So there's, and the box is in pretty damn good condition, considering how old the machine is. And with it, obviously the person liked the computer so much they upgraded, and this one's got a bit of tape on it, and we have the 3000H, which has a little bit more RAM, so 32K main RAM and 16K video RAM, and the same ROM. And the box is not too bad, it's got a bit of tape on it. Oh, we've got a bit on the end. I wonder whether the other one had anything on the end. No, it did actually. And then some of the other peripherals you could get for it. There's actually a disk drive unit down there which I didn't know about. Well, before we get into the computers, there's actually a second box. So there's actually a little tape header. So obviously in the stores, the cassette tapes sat in here, probably with a bit of plastic over it. Interesting, they kept that as well. Okay, so second parcel. It all looked in very good condition in the photos. I mean, as long as the person is willing to, chuck stuff in a box for you, I do tend to find that the ones that say pick up only will accept the pack and send method. And they were very nice people to deal with, so. Okay, and they've even, I'll show you this, how well it's packed, they've even used copper bubble packaging. One of the little things, don't take up much space and really protect things. And these are all cassettes. So we'll actually have quite a bit of software to play with on this machine, and have a look. And so some of this is very Australian. So we have Australian Geography Tutor. Ooh, there we go with the glare because it's silver. try moving over a little bit. Okay, they're all fairly similar. I'll just show you one tape, and I won't take the tapes out anymore, so they're reasonably generic labels and things like that. So, geography tutor. Let's make this up a pile there. Australian general knowledge tutor. Let's type program. Multiplication tutor. Expense analyzer. Spelling tutor. Not going to worry too much about the focus, they all look the same. Addition tutor. Learn the alphabet program. I'd say they built all these on special, so but the actual quality of the labels is actually quite good. Division tutor. Keyboard learning program. Here we go. Basic 1 tutorial. That will be quite good. And watch me draw program, so a drawing program. So you can get cartridges for the Segas, and that's probably the more common thing you can use. And the good thing about these Segas is you can use the Japanese Sega SG-3000 cartridges, or the Japanese SC-3000 computer cartridges, and they'll work. So they're all complete inside as well. So we have a proper, so John Sands in Australia, John Sands Sega Power Pack. Okay. And this one has a boxed copy of Level 3B Basic. Now this by itself, if you go on, say, look in Japan at the moment, you'd be lucky to get this for less than $70. And there we go, it is complete with cartridge in there. There might have been a guide in there or something at some stage, but it's actually, they've kept all this in really good condition. Let's see if we can get the system out. Have a closer look. Oh, and there's the manual, the Level 3 Basic manual. And we have the original polystyrene. Careful with. And what looks like the original plastic as well. So here's the system. So it's a rubber keyboard one, so very similar to the Spectre video. Probably if I had have seen this one first, I would have bought it. It would have been interesting things, but it's got a couple of interesting features. It has a reset button, your cursor keys. The Spectre video had the joystick in the side, and lots of shortcut commands on the keys, which is really nice for back then. The Spectre video had the same thing as well. Let's have a look. So you've got the cartridge slot around the side, which, as I said, takes the standard SC-1000 or SG-3000. You've got two standard joystick ports. I believe the second fire button works exactly the same as a Master System one, so I'm not sure, and I think that's wired up differently from an MSX one. We'll have to test that theory out later. So on the back here, it's actually a really nice tidy machine. We have on-off, adapter power, cassette, so we've just got normal, oh that's great, we've just got normal in and out phone jacks, a printer port, an AV socket which looks very much like the Master System's AV socket, and I'll have to read up, and I think we can just use the Mega Drive AV cord, which is the same as, which plugs into a Master System as well. And a little channel switch, I believe that is, yes, channel switch, and we've got TV out there as well. So a really tidy, nice looking little machine. So we'll obviously have separate demos of each of those, and there's a there's an RF cable in there as well, and stuck in the end of the polystyrene here. Oh, there we go, we don't even need the cassette leads, it's the cassette leads. So I don't even need to get us, I mean they're standard, there's nothing custom about those, have actually been in there so long they've got polystyrene melt on them. They've obviously been left in there and they've probably used their other one, so I'll just sit that down there for a minute. Let's have a look at the other one. Oh, and there's actually more tapes. So, in the top of this we have Flash Word 1, Super Tape 1, more educational programs, Environoid Text Adventure, that'll be cool to have a look at, WizKid Mental Arithmetic, obviously you decided to start putting pictures on some of their things later on, Metric Mentals, ooh, Dragon Quest, and Satellite Subtraction. And once again we have the Power Brick. Now we didn't look at the other one, I think these are pretty much a Master System Power Brick, very similar, so it outputs 9 volts at 1.1 amps. Okay, in the same parity. So I've got a Master System one here, which I actually use for my NES, and that's 9 volt 1 amp. So seriously, they're completely compatible, just a different transformer format, that's all. So they can stay in the box, and I'll just use other ones. Right, we've got a couple of cables in the top here. Now, this one comes with a different basic. So this comes with basic level 3A. Now I'm not sure which ones, what the difference between basic A and basic B are. So inside we just have the cartridge, but once again wrapped really well. Okay, so polystyrene's all complete. We have AV cords, and we've got another set of the tape cords. The original plastic has just been cut open a little bit. So we have original documentation, I think about a free computer course there. It's like an unpacking guide. Okay, this is the keyboard helper. Sits up there, so, sorry. Because of course on this one it doesn't have the command shortcuts that are on the original. So that's what it is, and there's actually a whole lot of stickers to stick the shortcut commands and the graphic commands on the keys if you want, and they haven't actually done that. So here we go, here's the machine. Without further ado, here's the machine. So exactly the same keyboard layout, except it is a real keyboard. So travel isn't too bad, and other than that, the ports and even the build and shape of the machine is exactly the same. It might be a little bit thicker. There we go. Yep, just a little bit taller. I can show you that with that. So, I'm very excited to have these. Now I of course have up above my head there, you can see the ones with the boxes with the red writing on them. I've got 3 boxed Sega game cartridges. So we shall get both of these machines fired up, just to give it the basics a quick try, and give each of those games a go, which would be great fun. So let's go and have a look. Okay, here we go. I've booted up the plain SC-3000. not the H, so the one with the rubber keyboard, and I've put in the basic level 3B cartridge. Now the 3A cartridge won't work on this one, it makes beeping sounds when I try, so you must have to use this one. I'd say the B one must come with the extra memory, because the machine itself's only got 16K and it's reporting 26620 bytes free, so I'd say the difference between the level 3B and the level 3A cartridges, the A one doesn't come with any extra memory and the B one does. So you can use the A one with the H model, which already has enough RAM, and but for this one you need the B cartridge. So this, and I've had a look through the manual, the basic is almost identical to the basic used in the Spectre Video and the MSX machines. It's a, oh, I don't know how to rub out now. There we go. So let's see what the keyboard's like. We'll do the good old hello world. So the keyboard's not too bad. It's not the best rubber keyboard I've used in my life, but it's not going too bad. Alright, so we're going to list and run. We get hello world going up the screen, so press break to get out of that. List to see our program again. I'll probably do another segment on programming these machines where I'll show a few examples. And I mean, we do have the tape games here, so what I'll do first though, we'll go through, I've got 3 cartridges and we'll have a bit of a look at those first because they're obviously easier to load. So let's put the first one in, and I can also do it without any breaks. The cartridge port has a nice firm fit. So we'll put the most exciting one in first, which is Star Jacket. Now also I have hooked up a standard Sega controller with the 2 buttons, and I've already tested this and it works. It doesn't like Mega Drive controllers at all, so if you plug those in, the fire button works, but that's about it. So it doesn't like how they're wired up, whereas you can plug Mega Drive ones into the Master System and they work fine. So it's got some jazzy little music. The start screens, I mean it's monochrome, but it's got a fair bit of detail on there. And this isn't a bad shoot 'em up. My control, I mean, and I start the game and I'm having trouble with my controller. Right, I don't use these pads very often, so obviously they're a little. There we go, it's working properly now. So note to self, get myself, or clean up these existing Master System control pads. So I'm holding down both the A and B buttons and it's repeat firing. The B button's dropping bombs, which are getting those surface targets. Oops. Oh. So I'm down to 1 me already. And you can't go over those areas because you'll run into those towers. So, and I think the idea is you're supposed to shoot a certain number of these guys in this section, and if specifically those guys, and if you do, you'll get this mothership guy. Oops, and if you manage to shoot him when he's got one of those bullets in the middle of him, it'll win the stage. So I'll just have another quick go because that was a bit short, and this is quite a nice game. Now, of course, because of the limitation of the machine, the scrolling is going to be on 8 pixel boundaries. But actually, you know, it's still quite managing to be a colourful game, and it's you know, it's playing quite fast. I personally would have absolutely loved to have this on a computer back in the day. See, it's amazing what a little bit of a warm-up does. Oh god, I almost died then. Okay, we should get access to it. There we go, got him, just when I'm about to die. Now, this actually illustrates a thing the TI chip can do, which is sprite size doubling. Oh, and we're docking now, so there we go, I actually finished the level and I didn't lose any of my ships. So then you go into the second stage, which has a little bit more of a harder, spacey section. And you've got to be really careful because it's not just your lead ship that can get hit. And in that case it was. You might have an extra life or something then. Oh dear, falling in a big heap now. Nope, and there I go. So that's not a bad game at all. So if you ever get a SG-1000 or SC-3000 computer, highly recommended. Moving on to our next one, we have Congo Bongo. So this is sort of the Donkey Kong in a way of this particular system. So let's see how we go. I'm playing this completely cold. I have not practiced on this one at all. Okay. I still am experiencing a little bit of stickiness on my controller here. Oh, at least I didn't die. So it's got a semi, like 3D. Oh, I've grabbed the monkey. Oops. That's definitely a life there. So it's using this isometric 3D, so you've got a little bit of depth in the gameplay, so it makes it a little different. Oops. Oh! It's not jumping when I run, I'll have to maybe jump a little earlier. I almost got to say that music that's playing is actually very close to being a rip-off. I think you can throw the monkeys. Oops, oh god. Oh, almost been in. Alright. Oh! Right, I made it to the top, so I was hoping you only just had to make it to the top. Let's see what the second stage is like. Okay. I've got to go up. Okay, collision detection is a little harsh there. Oh, game over. Well, that's not a bad little game, deserves a bit more play, so I suppose that wasn't too bad for a completely cold game. Let's try our next one. Okay, we have Safari Hunt, or Hunting. Okay, oh, I thought that wasn't going to work for a second with the weird sound of making. So, got some. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. There we go. there's a snake over there now. I'm not a very good hunter, am I? So if a button fires, I think I still am having a little bit of difficulty with this control pad. That's a bit harsh. So there's obviously a particular knack to this game, but it's a bit... Is that something? Ooh. Right. Right, finally got something. Right, so I've got one snake. Now I'm supposed to go and get the baboon. I'm not sure you flush them out. Snake, I don't need one of those. I need a... Oops, oh, I touched him. Alright, well we don't need my pathetic attempts to get this. There's probably a bit more of a game in there that needs a bit more practice and reading instructions, but not bad for the basic game, so I think the other two are much better. Let's have a go at some of those tape games, so I'll just pause while I get set up. Right, I tried some of the tape software and it doesn't look like it's going to work. I only have the one tape deck at the moment, it's a Sanyo one, and you can't adjust the volume. You've only got a attenuator, phase and monitor buttons. By putting down both the attenuator and phase, I actually got the name of the of some of the items and some of the tapes to pop up, but none of them would load. So what I've done, I thought I might as well test the SC-3000H, and it does work, although it won't work with the 3A basic cartridge either. So now I'm a little bit confused. Now, well, I suppose we might as well have a little bit of a look at the keyboard. So yeah, it's sort of like a half travel keyboard. So it's better to type on than the rubber one, as you can see by being able to type that in quicker. Everything's sort of in the same place. And it works fairly much the same. So yeah, this is really just to round off and just say that, well, both machines work. I'll probably you know, keep the rubber key one on display because that will wear out quicker, and use the one with the full, you know, with the half travel proper keyboard on it for testing some software out. I mean, I will eventually try the rest of the pile of tapes over there, but I may also have a hunt around and see if I can get another tape deck that actually has a volume control on it. I mean, I do have a box of old tape recorders, but I've tried them and they chew tapes, so they're not going anywhere near the good tapes. Alright, hope you've liked this video and this pickup. I am obviously personally particularly excited about these particular machines and looking forward to what I can do with them. Alright, I'll catch you all later.